Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Rolly Image, what's up? Hello, Gavin. So, Gavin Sloan has a question. Hold on, I'm just making sure that when I move... Okay, it looks like that doesn't affect it at all. Okay. Let's go back to Gavin's question. Gavin, can you explain how zinc raises potassium in a hair test? So does zinc raise cortisol then? So it doesn't directly raise potassium, but it does lower the sodium to potassium ratio, which in turn, yeah, it does to a certain extent help raise potassium. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find a way to better explain it to you here. Let me find an article where maybe it might explain it better to you. What's up, everyone? We had a question. We're talking about zinc. So the first thing you need to know about zinc is that it tends to balance things. And so zinc doesn't directly raise potassium. It's more like it raises potassium. It tends to raise potassium in a slow oxidizer. And then it tends to lower potassium in a fast oxidizer. Okay. So zinc, yeah, zinc actually will lower sodium. But it actually depends. It'll, like I said, it's so sodium and potassium are related in that zinc will lower sodium in a fast oxidizer, then it tends to raise sodium in a slow oxidizer. So zinc actually has a pretty balancing effect. Okay, that's why we call it a balancing mineral. Okay. Martin McFarlane. The Scots have arrived. What else we got? Vitaly Maximized, Fab Company. You guys got any questions? Okay, here we go. Question I've been meaning to ask: is BioFlow taken before or after a meal? You can do either. I recommend you can do either right before you eat, right after you eat, or you can do during. What I usually do is I eat a little bit of the food, and then I take the supplements, and then I finish the meal. I see you, Martin. I see you seeing me. Yeah, exactly. That's why you give it the NAK ratio is raised, because it tends to balance, because it tends to lower that ratio. Eggers, zinc only tends to lower sodium in a fast oxidizer. It actually tends to raise sodium a little bit in a slow oxidizer. Well, excuse me, that's with potassium. Yeah, zinc does tend to lower sodium, correct. Yeah, so does vitamin A, actually. Vitamin A and zinc both tend to lower the sodium level. All right, Zalman, how long does the major retracing take? It's been since month 6. It's been 10 months so far. Well, I mean, that could depend. Here, let me make sure the stream's working. Here we go. Okay. How long does the major retracing take? It's been 10 months so far. Well, there's no way to know. Some people never have a major... well, it also depends, right? Basically, everyone's going to retrace infections at some point. So even though you've only been on the program 10 months, at some point you will retrace some infections in the body. But as far as emotional retracing, you know, some people never need to retrace intense emotional retracings. Like for me, for instance, I've never had an intense emotional retracing, really. Just because I didn't have that kind of trauma. You know, some people are going to have that kind of trauma. My trauma is more physical, so I've retraced a lot of infections. Whereas I don't have as many emotional problems, so I haven't had many emotional retracings. So it just depends. You know, at some point you will retrace an infection, for sure. That happens to basically everyone on the program. Okay. Let's see. So Gavin asks, so if both sodium and potassium are low, how do you raise both at one time? Well, if sodium and potassium are both low, that means you're in slow oxidation. I mean, yeah, that means you're in slow oxidation. So the main thing for that would be increasing the oxidation rate. So taking the B vitamins and the certain vitamins and minerals that increase the oxidation rate. Things like B12, etc. Okay, so sodium and potassium are low, you're going to be in slow oxidation. Okay, so the best way to increase those levels is to increase the output of the adrenals and the thyroid, and then increase the oxidation rate. Hope that makes sense. What's up, guys? What's up, Oser? What's up, Captain Coins? What coins are you a captain of, though? Like gold, silver? What's your favorite? Platinum? Bitcoin? Do you love them all? Are you a captain of all of them? I hope that answers your question, Gavin. But yeah, if they're both low, the main way that you would raise them both at the same time is that you would increase the oxidation rate. Okay. Gavin says, just coming out of 4 lows. Magnesium and calcium are getting better and nearly at a good level. Sodium and potassium are still low. Sodium and potassium too. So yeah, that just means that you exited 4 lows into slow oxidation. Okay. You know what? I might move. No, let's do that. Yeah, so that just means that you exited 4 lows into slow oxidation, Gavin, which is actually good, okay? You typically, if someone's going to exit 4 lows, it's more permanent if they exit into slow oxidation. What usually happens more often than not is if you exit into fast oxidation, you're going to go back into 4 low. So it's fine that you exited into slow oxidation, okay? So yeah, the main way you would raise your starting potassium, especially your potassium, since it's only at 2, is increasing your thyroid output. You know, I like the ThyroSpark from Valence. That'll help your potassium get up. So the 2 most important supplements to raise your starting potassium are going to be, I would say, the ThyroSpark and then the Slow Ox. But I would recommend the Valence supplements. They're going to move them more powerfully. Right, Aaron? I don't know if he's still watching. I started taking calcium AEP from Hans Napper. Let's do a little research. Okay, let's see here. Calcium AEP. Hans. Well, what calcium were you taking before? Because I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, if you're taking that calcium and you were taking the Paramin before, I mean, I'm not surprised that you're getting a lot of benefit. But I would have a hard time believing that that would be better than taking the CalMag Fusion. Zalman, if you haven't tried, you should try the CalMag Fusion. I would tend to think that it's probably better than that calcium, because that calcium is just, you know, the CalMag Fusion has other things in it. It's going to have stuff like boron, vitamin D. It's going to have multiple forms of calcium. It's going to have multiple forms of magnesium. It's going to help create a synergy. Let's see here. But if you haven't tried it, I would try the CalMag Fusion. You can buy it here. I'll send you the referral link. But yeah, if you were K2 also. But yeah, if you were going from the Paramin and then you added the calcium from Hans into the Paramin, I wouldn't, you know, that makes a lot of sense why you would get a benefit, because the Paramin's gone downhill a lot, unfortunately. People don't get as much benefit from it. Okay. But you can keep taking it if you want. If you notice a big benefit from it, there's nothing wrong with adding a different calcium supplement. You know, it's okay to experiment a little. Maybe I'm wrong and it's an amazing calcium supplement that you actually really need. But I would tend to think you're going to be better off just taking the CalMag Fusion. Let's see, I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find the ingredients to the. I guess it's just that one form of calcium, huh? Is it calcium ascorbate? Yes, the quality of the Paramin has gone downhill. The newer ones, they compress them even more, and so a lot of people, they don't digest them very well. And a lot of people just poop them out, unfortunately. What do I think of methylene blue? I have never taken it. Um, the Valence guys are really, really good with the supplements, especially Aaron. He's like he knows a lot about that sort of stuff. I've never heard him talk about it, and so I tend to think that it's probably overrated. And you probably aren't going to get much use from methylene blue in the context of mineral balancing. Like, we already recommend so many different things. Like, if you're taking 8 supplements, is methylene blue going to be worth it to add on top of your stack? Probably not. Okay, so you were taking the CalMag Fusion Zalman. Okay, and this took it to the next level? Oh man, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. If this took it to the next level, then some people might feel like they get hit by a dump truck. Okay. Do you know what's different about the AEP? That's cool that you're getting such good research from it. So it's got a phosphate group, huh? Oh, it's a German scientist. German scientists find some cool shit, not gonna lie. There's a lot of like German scientists do a lot of woo-woo stuff. Let's see here. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, maybe Aaron added to the CalMag Fusion. But yeah, I mean, if you're getting good results from it, then okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But if you're noticing the benefit from it, I would just keep taking it. And maybe I'll get some myself. It's actually not that expensive. I kind of thought that it would be more expensive. Methylene blue gave you energy? Okay. Well, maybe there's some benefit from it. I don't know your specific case, why you had so much fatigue. It could be that you were on I don't know, like if you're working with a practitioner or what if you're using Endemit or Valence or... You might be dumping a lot and you need some like pectin or something. Are you in 4 lows? I don't know. It might be related if you're in 4 lows. What dose of CalMag do you take in 4 lows? For most people, I do 3-3-3 of the CalMag Fusion. Yeah. Yeah. Were you in 4 lows, Radar, Ashwood? Gavin, are you working with a practitioner? If you're not working with a practitioner, you might want to. You can email me if you want to. Oh, potassium in it? Yeah. Yeah, potassium seems to be helpful. And, you know, the new CalMag Fusion, they put potassium in it. So it seems to be helpful in the CalMag Fusion. What is the membrane complex? Is that another Hans Zimmer one? What is membrane complex? Drop me the link. Okay, membrane by Hans Nilper. Okay. How long ago was he recommending it, that though? Was that before? Was that before CalMag Fusion? I'm just thinking if it's worth like telling people to take it over CalMag Fusion, if it's worth adding. Maybe I'll get some though. Let's see, what is it? It's is it calcium and magnesium? Okay. Okay, so it's a CalMag. Okay. I do imagine that what you're talking about, Zalman, was before CalMag. Oh, he says that. So Aaron's on the Instagram. He says it helps build the cell membranes in a certain way. I prefer it over lecithin for those and for those. So it's not really a replacement for CalMag Fusion though. You probably would take both then, Aaron. Okay, I got you. So I imagine it'll be when you make the 4 low supplement. You'll put it in the 4 low supplement. Okay, that makes sense. What's up, Lorenzi? Zalman, you're on both streams? Maybe I'll add it to people's 4 lows protocol then. Maybe I should start taking it. Aaron, you've been keeping the secret sauce from me? Maybe I need to make Aaron my practitioner. You know, that's true, actually. One thing I've realized, honestly, is practitioners need a practitioner. Lewis is my Lewis and Aaron are my practitioners. I'm Clark's practitioner. Say, Clark, you gotta do the pulling down exercise. And then he doesn't do it. And then he finally does it. He's like, oh my god, I did the pulling down exercise. I feel so good. I'm like, yeah, you gotta do the pulling down exercise. I'm telling you, every practitioner needs a practitioner. Aaron, do you think you'll put that one in the 4 Low supplement when you eventually release it? I guess that would make sense, right? Oh, maybe hard to get. So Zalman, another thing that you might try to get a 4 Lows quicker, Matthew Kaufman actually recommended to me is a form of taurine, and he actually has people take like, you know, more than, let's see, more than like Dr. Wilson recommends. Instead of 500 milligrams, it's like 3,000. Here, I can put the link on the YouTube. Let's see, where's the taurine? Hold on, I'll put it in the YouTube. Let me find, I bookmarked it somewhere. Hold on. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me find this taurine that I bookmarked. I have too many bookmarks. Someone come organize. Maybe I didn't bookmark it. Oof. I thought I did. Yeah. I thought I did. What's up, Linda? If you email me, I'll email you back the taurine. I forgot the brand of the taurine. These Instagram chats suck. You can't even, like, search them. Well, at least not from desktop. That's another problem. That's another problem with the with Instagram. Is like the 2 versions are different. Like, so if you use the desktop, I prefer to work from a laptop, and so if I'm on Instagram from a laptop, it doesn't have all the functionality. Yeah, shoot me an email. I have it somewhere, sorry. Yeah, grounding every day for sure. 4 Lows tend to be ungrounded. They tend to spiral with stress. Alright, I guess Linda's going live with me. She sent me a request. The going live is tricky. Linda, I tried to accept it, but sometimes it's just weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It might be on your end. You might try like closing the app or. Can we get Aaron soon as well? For what? A Q&A? What? What are you asking? What do you mean? Can we get Aaron? Yeah, we'll get Aaron. Yeah, we'll get Aaron on the YouTube channel, and we'll plan it out like a week ahead of time or something. Do you think calcium and magnesium don't work for everyone in 4 lows? I mean, fatigue is a common symptom of just starting a program in 4 lows, because you have to understand that the program itself is trying to make you rest out of 4 lows to a certain extent. So I think if you feel really fatigued, the answer is just, you can slow down your program. Also, sometimes like there can be energy stuck, so just make sure that your body's aligned. If you're having low energy, having your Atlas stone adjusted or just getting a general chiropractic adjustment done might be helpful. Yeah, they have some new fancy grounding sheets too that I saw people were recommending. Also, it depends where you live. Like, some places have more dirty electricity. Like for for where I live, like I'm out here on 7 acres. EMFs aren't really much of a problem for me. But yeah, if you live in the city, especially, grounding can be EMFs can be a big issue, for sure. The people want to pick your brain, Aaron. We gotta get you. We gotta schedule a live, and then people can ask questions ahead of time, and we'll just go through them. We can go through the new products as well. Okay, let's see. Can you describe the shift you feel when you do the pulling down exercise? What can you expect to change? First of all, it helps calm the mind. Okay, so that's the biggest benefit. Bringing awareness into the body. Okay, many people have problems in their life because they're simply not aware of them. Okay, so awareness itself is healing. Okay, so if you can become aware of your problems, then I would say us 5 are really pushing things forward more than anything. The 5 horsemen. I would say Aaron is actually moving things forward more than anyone right now. The Valence supplements are a massive improvement. What typically gets better after a copper dump? A lot of times, if you were going through a copper dump, you would retrace an infection. That'd be associated with a copper dump. A lot of times, if people go through a big copper dump, they're gonna retrace something. Oftentimes, an infection. But you'll just note, like, especially if you're a man, copper dump. After you go through a copper dump, you'll feel more masculine. Honestly, you'll feel more manly. You'll feel more in control of your emotions. You'll feel more powerful, more in control of your life, more balanced. Things won't affect you as much. Copper picks up things. It's like that's why we use copper to conduct electricity, right? And so after the copper dump, you'll feel like there's less, things won't affect you as much. Any advice on getting out of 4 lows with high NAK? Just make sure you're taking the CalMag Fusion and the Zinc Matrix Pro. Those 2 supplements will be the most important for you. Okay. And then high dose taurine. Grounding every day. Feeling that now, voice is getting deeper, still more. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason, honestly. Aaron has probably experienced this as well. All my young male clients that start mineral balancing, like, especially if they're under the age of, like, 40, you know, anywhere from, like, 20 to 35, all my young male clients become quite successful. They just become entrepreneurs, or they just... And then you realize, like, you know, the thing that's not... What's not holding you back, you know, college isn't holding you back, all these different things. It's just your... You know, your energy. That's what's holding people back in modern society more than anything, right? It's just like their energy levels, for sure. I'm sorry, Linda. I tried to accept your request to go live. But it's not working. I don't know. I don't really understand the go live function in Instagram. I don't know why it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. If you want, you can try to what's worked before is you can try to cancel your request, Linda, and then I'll send you a request. Sometimes that works, but I've had the same issue multiple times. It's funny, Instagram's actually not a great app at all. Like, a lot of these apps, they just have network effects. Everyone uses them, so people use them because everyone else is on them. But like, this is not a good app at all. It's like really shitty. I love talking shit about Instagram. All right, let's see here. Oh, fuck the middle anyway. No one wants to be in the middle. All or nothing. Let's go. Okay. It shoots you back into fast. Well, then you go back into fast. There's nothing wrong with taking zinc and it shooting you. I mean, if you're having a high NAK, you need the zinc. And if you go back into fast, you're just probably one of those people that... So a lot of times people just go from 4 lows fast back and forth a lot. That's why I was saying earlier, usually, typically, if people exit into slow oxidation from 4 lows, it's more permanent. Usually if they exit 4 lows into fast oxidation, they're going to go back and forth. Dr. Wilson says do pull down up to an hour, but is 15 to 30 minutes okay? Will the benefits be that different? No. There's a lot of variables. So if you're one of those people where it takes a long time to get deep into it and like really do it powerfully, then there might be more benefit in doing an hour as opposed to 15 to 30 minutes. But you can also do like 30 minutes just twice a day, and then that's an hour, right? But, you know, the pull-down exercise, you know, there's no overdoing it, right? And so, yeah, if you do it for 5 minutes, that's great. 15, that's better. 30, that's better. Now, I mean, ideally, you want to be doing it all the time, right? Any experience with tongue ties? Well, tongue ties is typically with children. And then, a lot of times, if they're tongue-tied, they need surgery. You know what I mean? You know, me and Lewis talk about this, and, you know, Dr. Wilson touches on it as well. I actually think that at a certain point on a program, people are meant to be in fast. So I kind of think that as you develop, people are kind of just meant to be in mild fast oxidation. But I'd be lying to you if I said that I knew. But it seems to, from me and Lewis seem to think that at a certain point, yeah, the normal thing that people go into is mild fast oxidation. My teeth are sensitive now. It could be the calcium being replaced in the teeth, actually. Squeak! But yeah, Captain, it's okay if you're going back into fast oxidation. You know, that's just what's needed. You don't want to be too attached to your results. If you have to go back and forth from Forlows into fast oxidation, then it is what it is. A lot of people do that. Lots of people go back and forth from fast oxidation to Forlows for a while. It's just something that sometimes the body needs to do. You know, try not to judge it too much. Trust the process. Have you heard Lewis say that, or did you hear me say that? Because that's what I say a lot. Now, me and Lewis obviously are on the same wavelength. So me and Lewis say a lot of the same shit. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Lewis said that, but I think you might be thinking of me. Because I say that all the time. And I'm going to say it again. I'd rather you do the pull down exercise than follow the diet to a T. I'd rather you do the diet like 70%. Yeah, it was probably me. Because I say that all the time. Just because I want people to get into their heads that it's all relative, right? Same thing with the, you know, it's all relative with the valence supplements too, right? I'd rather someone... You know, people are going to get better results switching from Endomit to Valence and then not doing the diet as well, you know. So with the Valence supplements, truthfully, the diet's less important than it used to be. The diet's still important. You still need to eat vegetables, okay? But, you know, it's the same thing with the Valence supplements. And you could also make the argument that maybe the pull down exercise is a little less important for some people with the valence supplements as well. It's all relative. It's all relative. But I would still say that the pulling down exercise is the most underrated part of the program. And people don't quite realize most people don't realize how powerful it is. Let's see here. I've noticed almost I got an infection in my mouth. Almost a gum infection. It's probably some sort of retracing, yeah. If you're worried about infection, it's good to swish hydrogen peroxide in your mouth. Like 3% hydrogen peroxide, just the stuff they use topically. Probably recommend that. What do I think of what the president is accomplishing? I think so far it's fantastic. You know? So far, Trump is doing more than I thought he would. And that's good. And he's being more aggressive. You know, I would like to think maybe he's learned a little bit from his first presidency. And so maybe he's going harder. Maybe he learned some lessons. Maybe it's because he knows that it's his last chance. And so he's going hard. But... no, it's good. The whole government is to be gutted to the core. Literally, we need to get rid of like 95% of our government, preferably. You have to realize that most of these institutions are illegal anyway. Department of Education is illegal. Department of Agriculture, illegal. All these departments are illegal, okay? Because there's only supposed to be... federal departments that are outlined in the Constitution, such as the Department of Defense and the Treasury, okay, and like a few others. Most of the government is actually illegal. Illegal. But we'll see. Hopefully he just guts it. RFK Jr. Well, he only got RFK Jr. only got appointed a few days ago. So we'll see about RFK. But RFK seems good. They've already done stuff with the vaccines with RFK. Like today, there was an executive order where they're limiting funding for the vaccines. So. Oh, 100%. Yeah. You could make the argument that metal toxicity, the deficiencies, was attributed to the nation's decline more than anything. Our forefathers were much higher T. Okay? We would probably have a hard time relating to our forefathers. Our forefathers went to war with the biggest empire at the time, the English Empire, over like a 3% tax on tea. It was like a 3% tax. Think about this. There's no taxes, right? Think of all the taxes and all the regulations we have now. Imagine none of that existed. And they literally went to war with the biggest empire at the time over a 3% tax on tea. Okay, these were extremely high testosterone men. They were eating things like, the soil was much more dense. And they were living off of like wild game and stuff. Okay. Our forefathers were stacking bodies at this point. Yeah, high dose melatonin is good. Methylene blue, I'm a little more skeptical of. I've never personally used it. I don't know as much about it. There's, we already take so many supplements on a program. It's like, is methylene blue something that I'm going to recommend to people? Probably not. But melatonin I know is a good one. Melatonin is relatively safe, actually, as well. I'm still not completely sure if methylene blue, especially if you're doing larger dosages and you're doing it pretty frequently, there might be a little bit of toxicity issues, especially like oxidative stress. I think that methylene blue, it seems to me it's like somewhat similar to like vitamin C or something like that, and that it's oxidizing. But melatonin's fine. I don't know if I do a crazy high dose of melatonin, but you can do a good dose of melatonin at night. Can we catch up? Catch up to what? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it could detox aluminum from the brain. I don't think it's gonna be a big mover. You know what I mean? Like from what I've seen, just taking the CalMag fusion, people start to dump aluminum from their brain a lot more than like something I would say like probably like melatonin. And melatonin is one of those things, like your body will naturally produce melatonin if it's in a natural state, and like you have your good circadian rhythm. But yeah, the circadian rhythm's definitely underrated. Making sure your lights are dimmed. Typically you want to like dim your lights with the sun so like your eyes aren't getting tricked. So same thing with like smartphones. Make sure the light's dim. Make sure you have a red light filter. Yeah, I mean, we can catch up. I mean, humans are also changing, so I don't know if modern males are meant to be as high testosterone as they used to be. Like, the healthy modern man, I don't think it's going to be maybe as high as test as like a Viking was, right? And that's probably not best for human society where we're going. So humans are changing. Men are becoming more selenium based. So there's like older minerals, right? So like fast oxidizer men that like built America, they were more like cadmium men. You know, if you go look at like the old photos of like them working on the coal mines or like working on the factory floor or like mechanics covered in grease, those are like cadmium men. Men are becoming more like selenium. Is lithos anywhere near the same as the lithium drug? I'm not sure what lithium drug you're referring to. I mean, typically when they prescribe lithium, it's mostly just lithium, but lithos is similar, yeah. In fact, if someone's on a lithium prescription, I would use lithos to take them off of it, and I would keep them on lithos for at least for however long. But the lithos is quite powerful. In some ways, it's more powerful than the drug. Yeah. But yeah, the lithos is nice because it's not only is it powerful, but it's also a natural form, so your body can regulate it easier. I don't really recommend expanders. If you want a bigger jawline, you know, you could do mewing. Also, the pulling down exercise will make your maxilla bigger because it makes your tongue go to the roof of your mouth, which is like mewing. The pulling down exercise kind of makes you mew. You get some Greco gum too. Get those jaw muscles. I'm pretty sure the program made my jaw bigger. It looks bigger than... It is a Nirvana song. Although I always thought Nirvana was kind of overrated. Not my favorite grunge band. I prefer Alice in Chains. Or Soundgarden. Even Pearl Jam. Zalman, you're coming at me like a machine gun. Why do more kids have ADD? You know the answer to that question. Vaccines, toxic metals. You know the answer to that question. Vaccines, toxic metals, nutrient deficiencies. How's my posture improved? My neck's straighter, my back's straighter. You guys should go look at my old videos. Go to my YouTube channel, watch my first few videos. I think there's a difference. Speaking of grunge, I was watching that old MTV Unplugged, Alice in Chains. So good. Oh my god. Don't be sorry. Hey man, if you're the only one there, fire away. Someone's got to ask the questions. Someone's got to be asking the questions around here. You know what I need to do? I need to figure out a way how to go onto Twitter at the same time. That'd be epic. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, yeah, we'll see how we end up. I mean, the last Trump presidency ended up with him shilling the death shot, becoming friends with Fauci, and committing treason. So yeah, important to remember that Trump committed treason. Important to remember that America is bankrupt as well. There's no going back. If the government didn't exist, I'd be running a bank right now. That's what I'd be doing. I really just go open up a bank. Yeah, we'll see where it's all headed. You should become as self-sufficient as possible. Take care of your own health, preferably run your own business, or at least be part of some sort of business that's more outside of control. Have some gold, have some silver, have some crypto. Yep, rip course canal. Well, taking selenium won't necessarily raise it on a hair test. But if I were you, if you want to take some selenium, just buy the selenium from Valence. Just take a couple a day. Or the one from Endomit. Yeah, I mean, you can stop the supplements for a month. Do I have a carpet on my ceiling? No, that's a tapestry. That's what I gaze into when I do the pulling down exercise and communicate with the aliens. Yeah, taurine helps with absorption of nutrients, so it helps like cell membrane permeability. It's also a membrane stabilizer. It's a mood enhancer. Your calcium in the blood is probably high because you're in slow oxidation. And the calcium is moving from your bones into your blood and then into your tissues. So that's why you have a high calcium on your test. I would imagine you're in slow oxidation. I would imagine. Are you against eating fruit? I do have people avoid fruit for the most part, but I'm not as against it. You don't need to 100% avoid fruit to like heal. You know, you can have a little bit of fruit once in a while. I just don't think people should be living off of fruit. Don't want to be living off the fruit. But like I give my kids apples sometimes. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Do I think organs are goid? Are you asking me if it's good to eat organs? You can have a little bit of organs. I don't think it's necessary in most cases. I don't really like organ meat personally. But you can have some organ meat, like especially a little bit of like organic liver or something. I wouldn't say that it's better to go off the supplements to remove toxins, Suzanne say. I think if you're having trouble, like you're getting too backed up with toxins, I think it's better to continue your supplements and just take some citrus pectin. The citrus pectin really helps pull things out. And so if you're detoxing a lot, you know, it can provide a lot of relief. How do I like my steak? Medium rare. Or kind of rare. I kind of like it in between rare and medium rare. That would be like my... like, perfect. Rare is a little too rare. Medium rare is like... I like medium rare, but... I would go right in between rare and medium rare. If it was my perfect steak. Thoughts on zeolite? You have to be careful because most zeolite has aluminum in it. I prefer citrus pectin. Citrus pectin, it's a more natural substance. There's less chance of cross-contamination. And it seems to be just as effective almost. Like, you can always just double the dosage of pectin. Not a fan of the taste of liver. It's too metallic. I don't like how liver tastes like a penny. How often do I have beef? I don't know. 3 times a week, maybe. 4 times a week. Twice a week. I don't count. Somewhere around 3 times a week-ish. Alright, guys. About to wrap it up here. Medium rare to medium? Man, we can't be having any medium steak eaters here in the chat. It's gotta be bloody. See, did I miss anything? All right, these last 2 questions, and then I gotta go. What hobbies do you have? I play guitar. Trade shit coins. Do you recommend beef bone broth powder? Yeah, actually, I have at my local grocery store. Sometimes on sale, they have like the powdered. It's like the organic beef bone broth. I like it. It's simple. You know, you don't have to make the bone broth yourself. It's like 1 serving is a packet. You just add it to hot water. It satiates like your appetite. It's got a lot of like glycine in it. Wheatgrass juice is okay. No, I prefer the bone broth powder. Wheatgrass is a little... Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.